Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Mac Merlin build stream. Let's see who is in chat today. I see a Unicorn 855, Bacon Tuna, Anonym, Chef D Cartier, and MJ Game 6. Thanks, guys, for joining in for another Saturday of me building a customer's keyboard. Today is another board that I've built before. This is the Cybervoyager Round 2. And let's see. Let me just show you guys really quick. If you guys haven't seen one before, check out my previous build stream or keep your eyes glued on screen. Basically, this guy right here. It's a lot cheaper than $400 when it went on group buy, but I think these were the extras if I'm remembering correctly. But this is a 75% top mount keyboard. There's lots of talk about how it's not really top mount, it's more like sandwich mount just because of how it's put together. Based on what I've seen, I still think this can be a top mount board. So here, let's just take a look at a few more pictures here before I unveil the customer's unit. There we go. Like, at the time, I might have gone for this board if I could go for the yellow, but I can't remember what I was doing at the time. Maybe, oh, I know what. I think I might have been trying to save my money for the Think 6.5, because this one came about roughly a month before, or like a couple weeks before. But yeah, this is what we're building today. And to keep me occupied with that, I'll be drinking some of my favorite peach oolong tea right here. Let's see, MJ Game 6 says, sad I did not get in on this group buy. The first one I built had a carbon fiber plate along with Holy Pandas. And that one felt super thocky. This one's going to be with Tangerines. So I'm more of a linear guy, so I think I might like this board better. Tay Mendes says, nice Skog. Oh yeah, this is the board I built last week. This is the Skog Reboot prototype. Not quite the board that group buyers will receive in the mail, but close enough. So yeah, let's see. Let's go pull out the customer's board. Here we go. This is it. Looks pretty much like the first customer that I did. Same color scheme. Same color scheme. But the difference will be is that this particular customer will also have plate foam, if I'm remembering correctly. Check it out. Breadnan says, did you lube the knob? No, I did not, because people were telling me that it might interfere with the electronics. So I'm like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that at all. So yeah, here we go. Look, it's a different color than last time. This one is, I call this like bluish gray, if I'm not mistaken. Bluish gray. Here we go. Bluish gray. I think I might like this colorway better than the previous board. Yeah, check it out. Hopefully I'll build this better too last time, because last time I got a bit confused with how to put that acrylic piece in, so hopefully this time I won't struggle as much. Let's see, let's turn on some music before we start here. Let's do this one. Is music playing? Yep, music is playing. There we go. As you can see, the customer already put all the switches in the plate. Hopefully that won't interfere with my build. He is missing two though, one over there and one for the pipe key. And he did say it was in this little container. Alright, but first things first. No, I actually already tested the PCB, so we'll skip that. But we still have to lube stabilizers. Unicorn says, did that need lubing? This thing? I mentioned that there was lots of resistance on it, but like compared with other rotary knobs that we have in the community, but I can see why there's resistance on this because it's right next to your arrow key, so there's a large likelihood that you could nudge it by accident. Yeah, here we go. This is the customer's board. So we'll put this away for now and continue with the lube job. There we go. Yeah, I've tested that the PCB is indeed compatible with VIA and has a VIA enabled QMK firmware flashed on it. There we go. I've actually already lubed 2 sets of stabs. Customer only wanted standard layout, so that would be backspace, left shift, and enter, and spacebar. So got 2 more sets to go. That should be good. IVIR Curie says, did you see my Reddit PM? I don't remember seeing a Reddit PM from you. Kind of like the rotary encoders on vintage hi-fi receivers. Yeah, that's true. Ivy says customer, by the way. Are you a current customer or a new customer? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Different names on Twitch and on Reddit. Yeah, this is the customer's board. This is Ivy Mercury. I think that's how you pronounce your name here. Oh, I get it now. That's an M right there. Nice, nice. Everyone finds creative ways to like make their name. Like I had a friend in college whose name was Michael, but the way he spelled Michael was M-Y-C-O-L-E instead of your typical Michael M-I-C-H-A-E-L. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Everyone has creative ways of spelling their names. Wait, is this live? No, this is not live. This is a recorded segment in which I'm guessing what you're going to say, just because I'm so magical like that. Yeah, I stream every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. PST, or at least I think I've been fairly consistent almost every Saturday so far. Like I think I probably missed 2 Saturdays this year. I think once because I was traveling, the other time I was sick. But so far I've pretty much made every Saturday this year. No, like streaming gets to be like a commitment. But if you don't commit to streaming, you can't grow your channel. Like people tend to expect a regular cadence in your streams. How are you, Merlin? I'm doing good. Doing pretty good. Just actually got back from doing lots of errands. Saturdays are my errands day. I'm usually out by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, just grocery shopping and whatnot. And depending on how long things take, I get back around noon, sometimes 1 o'clock, and I barely have time to grab some lunch before the stream. But yeah, I do have to, let's see. Hopefully this build won't take too long, because we do have a friend coming by. So hopefully we'll be good. I like to lube all of my stabs with 205G0 on the housing and dielectric grease on the wire. I used to do dielectric grease all around, but I noticed that I was seeing some inconsistency with my housing lube, just because dielectric grease is so thick, so I just had to be extra careful. With 205G0, I don't have to be too careful, to be honest. So I'm like, okay, that's, I know it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm not like hyper focused on trying to get it right. I think my first couple of customer builds were all with dielectric grease, and like they turned out all right. In fact, there are some cases which I think I lubed better with dielectric grease. Like I think my Jane in the back there, I think that one's built with dielectric grease on all of the stabs, and I'd say like that spacebar in my Jane is probably the best job I've ever done on a spacebar. Xbash is lubing his first switches. Congratulations. I hope you've got the next couple hours free just because it takes so long. Did you decide on the Milmax? I think I'm still not going to do it just because of the Tangerine incompatibility. There we go. And it's kind of like a last minute thing to like let me know. Okay, let's see. What's next? We gotta put all the stems in. All the stems in. Okay. So one thing with housing that is not completely clear but smoky like this, you need to be extra careful in like how you place them. Make sure that the holes are on the right sides. I had someone who got confused and put the stem in the other way around. So when they try to put their stabs in, like it just wouldn't go all the way down. And I'm like, you know, that's a very easy mistake to make. So gotta be extra careful with these. There we go. Good stuff. These look to be V1s. V1s, the last of the Durock V1s. I fully expect Durock V1s to just disappear from the market probably within the next, I'd say like 4 months, as people start gravitating towards V2s. This one's made with V2s, and so far I've not had any stab problems. So far. Alright, last stem. Alright, so just to make sure I got all the stabs here, there's backspace, left shift, enter, spacebar. There we go, that should be it. Ujits Lucas says the Skog is clean. Yeah, okay, so if you guys caught my build of this last week, I originally put S.A. Olivia on it, and I was like, it looks good, but I feel like it doesn't match very well. And then I remembered that I had GMK Olive, so I put it on and it works really clean with the desert colorway. So I think this might be the board that I keep it on. It's a good color match right there. And interesting, normally Durocs come with, you know, washers, but this time around there are no washers. Out of curiosity, Mercury, which vendor did you buy these stabs from? Are those V1 or V2? These are V1s. Do you think the board included some? Ah, okay. I'll go check that little box again. Normally it's included with the stabs itself. You know V1s don't come with washers? That is not true. I've actually, all the V1s I've bought have come with washers. Bought several months ago? Yeah, that could have affected it. Alright, let's see. Where's my dielectric grease? Here we go. Dielectric grease. Dielectric piece. Like, washers are one of those things where you like, do I really need this for my board? Do I not? No, in most cases, I think for like hot swaps. For hot swaps, you might not need it as much, especially if it's a top mount board and you have lots of hollow space underneath your PCB. Do V2s? V2s did, because I have a pack of V2s and they all came with washers. It might be a vendor thing, to be honest. See, I bought mine from, oh gosh, it was this new vendor that I'd not heard of before. 421 keys or something like that. Can't remember. And then there's also Ringer Keys. Ringer Keys definitely has it. Whitpax asks, are you doing anything fun for the holidays? My sister-in-law is actually visiting, so she'll be hanging out with us during the holidays. Other than that, not so much. Most restaurants are closed, so we'll probably just be eating in or like doing some takeout. 415 keys, there we go, that's it, yeah. 415 keys, they're located here in the United States, somewhere on the East Coast. I don't quite remember where. What do vendors do with them then? They might just get it straight from Duroc and not put washers in. Like, washers are one of those things that it's not always necessary, but it doesn't hurt to put them on. So why not put them on all the time? Better safe than sorry, you know? Like, I remember back in the day, like maybe like 2015 or so, when screw and stabs weren't as predominant. People were looking for screws that were made out of nylon. And those seemed to work just fine, just because washers were, for some reason, washers were harder to come by than nylon screws, which I find hard to believe, but just thinking back, just trying to remember, that was definitely the case. It was definitely the case, which is confusing. So if you know anyone who's been in the community for a long time and has like some kind of high-end custom or so, their board might have nylon screws. No reason not to use washers, yeah. You bought a small pouch? So did I. In fact, I think my small pouch is right there. Oh, I think my neighbors have just come home. See, Izashu says, nylon screws seem like it would be better than using metal screws and washers since we don't exert enough force on the board to damage the threads. That is correct. Nylon screws. Yeah, I think it was just easier to get washers now, you know? I think back then, people who couldn't get washers ended up just using like really small O-rings, which I think one of the problems that we encountered was because the O-ring was too thick, so you couldn't screw it all the way in. Yeah, just like problems with early builders, early build practices that people learned to get over. Oh. Do. There we go. All stabs in place. Let's grab that PCB. PCB, and supposedly there are washers in here. So you're going to screw to a piece of electric tape. Oh yeah, that's another way people used to do it in the past. Electric tape. Cheap and easy, but it leads to some very ugly looking PCBs. Mercury, did you this almost sounds like your spring is lubed. Did you lube these or are these stock? Go. They're lubed and filled. Nice. Yeah, I can definitely hear that the spring is lubed. Let's see. One of these bags has got to have them, right? Those are extra RGBs. Extra. Ah, okay. It's funny that they include extra RGBs. Oh, there we go. Those are the washers right here. Let's see, I always forget what the other ones are. Extra screws. And extra feet from the looks of it. I might need the feet, so I'll just leave these out. I'll leave these 3 things out, but I'll pack the rest up. I forget what this was. I'll pack it all up. Pack it up. And I know I need 2 switches. 2 switches. There we go. Alright, for those of you who have not seen this PCB, let's take a quick gander at it. Here we go. RGB LEDs here on the side, and on this side as well. USB-C right there. Atmega, which one? 32U4 microcontroller right there. And little ESD protection circuit right over there. Let's see, anything else to point out? No, not really. It's a purple PCB. Not much else to say about that. Don Tonberry says, "What's up, everyone? What's up to you?" 2. And... all right. Let's go with these clear washers. Clear washers. I normally use felt washers, but I think these are plastic. Yep, these are plastic washers. While you cut a new nut. A nut for what? A guitar? That's what I'm guessing. A guitar nut? Yep. Oh, nice. Okay. I guessed correctly. Nice. Do you happen to do saddles as well? And I guess what do you call those people? Is it pronounced luthier? Luthier? Are you a luthier by any chance? How's my cat doing? My cat's doing good. My cat's spending time with the wife as she cooks, apparently. Oh yeah, this is definitely a PCB that requires these washers. Because in this case, the case of a split backspace, one of the switch pads overlaps with the screw-in pad. So you definitely do not want to trigger that. Luthier is the right term. I try, I guess, as Downtonberry. Nice. Out of curiosity, what material do you make your nuts out of? Do you use cow bone, mammoth bone, fossil walrus ivory, stuff like that? I have a guitar here that's got fossil walrus ivory on it. Like way back in the day, I was so into this stuff. Do you still play guitar? I do, occasionally, yeah. Not as often as I used to anymore. Like I've probably lost some of my skill. But you know, since I played it for so long, I'm sure I could still pick up a song or two. Ah, I hit the mic with my hat. Yeah, like, you know, playing guitar is one of those things which you don't ever forget it, but your agility and speed and possibly your ability to just pick up songs does decrease when you don't practice. Cowbone or Graphtec? Nice. Yeah, I think I used Graphtec once for one of my earlier guitars. I think like Guitar Center sold me on it. I was like, oh, okay, sure, I'll buy it. Or Downtonberry, if you want to have a chat with me after my stream. I've always wondered how they would work as plates. That's the case with piano for you, says Unicorn. Yeah, I think I think anything that you've devoted a significant amount of your life to like master, like even if you don't do it for a while, it tends to be easy to like pick up. Especially if you like, you know, if you play piano, right, and then you play it for like a decade, and then you switch to some instrument, like your hearing ability is still improving even with that new instrument. So it's not like you'd be completely lost. It's like super muscle memory. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Yeah, my dad was a professional musician, so yeah, he played quite a number of like instruments during his heyday. But his main instrument was guitar. There we go. Get all the stabs on first and then test them out, see if they work. I'm curious, so both boards that I've received from a customer have carbon fiber plates. Was there any other option other than carbon fiber? Let me look at the webpage. Plate, carbon fiber, and aluminum. Okay. Yeah, I guess most people would choose carbon fiber because that's so that's so different. Unicorn prefers the violin. Nice. Dontonberry says, are those Durocs? Yes, these are Duroc V1s. My only board with V2s is this Skog in front of me. And so far so good. Like at this point, just because lately I've not had a stab pop out, I'd say V2s are just as good as V1s, and V1s are just as good as V2s. But that's just because I haven't had a stab pop out in quite a while. And I hope I never do, actually. Because that's just sad. Like I have one board with the stab popped out, and I keep saying I'm gonna fix it one of these days, but it's just, you know, thankfully I have several boards. So I pick it up saying today will be the day. Then I'm like, nah, I'll just use a different board. Laziness just got to me. Mode Obscure says hello to you too. Say, haven't had an issue with stabs popping out on V1s either. Yeah, they're, for the most part, I think they do the job quite well. Unicorn says, did I get a battery for the Bluetooth? No, I did not. That's one thing that I've completely forgotten this week. But I totally should. I like messaged Andy and I'm like, hey Andy, which battery did you get? He's like, oh, this one. So he sends me this Amazon link. And I went to it, clicked on it, out of stock. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just wait. Lump Space says, popping wires are never a problem. Yeah, like to be fair, like even when I used like cherries, it's very seldom that I have a popped wire. Like, if a wire does pop, I would probably attribute it to maybe the plastic itself has worn out over time, or the wire itself is bent, or just improper installation. But, you know, you never know these days. Okay, where does this guy go? 6.25U goes right there. You know, it's like interesting. So Cherry makes screw-ins, but yet I've never seen a Cherry manufactured board, like any of their G80 series. I have never seen a Cherry manufactured board that uses screw-in stabilizers. So I've always wondered, did they make those screw-ins for our community? Or what? I've just always wondered this because I've never seen it on one of their products. Mode says, my local post office has a Cherry keyboard I can see behind the counter. Is it mechanical? Because there are rubber dome Cherries as well. Alright, there we go. All of them are in. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Alright, okay. Let's see. Let's test them out really quick. I'll test them with the plate actually, or without the plate, just to make sure I have the bare basics down. You can ask the clerk. I wonder if the clerk would know, just because, okay, to be fair, before I entered this hobby, if someone asked me if I had a mechanical keyboard, I probably would not have been able to answer, but like I'd think about it and be like, you know, by nature, if you look at how a board works, it is mechanical. Like you press it and it mechanically moves. So I would have said, yeah, I do, you know? Slides him a TKL through the mail slot. Oh man. Like, okay, so I'm from Taipei, Taiwan. That's where I was born and raised. And the banks, just because, you know, banks have antiquated systems, antiquated software that needs to run on antiquated hardware. There's this bank that several banks that I go to, and they have an Alps keyboard, and as they type on it, it beeps and it clicks. So I think it's one of those Zenith keyboards, but they type out beep, 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 and click, 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 click. And I've seen it all my life. So during my last trip home, which was like 2018, I took a peek at them, and I was like, whoa, those legends are still crisp. I'm like, I wonder if they're PBT or there's actually a company that replaces them. All right, let me grab some keycaps here really quick. There we go. Your office has Cherry numpads but membrane keyboards. Nice. Alright. Let's try GMK Carbon. Dell membranes as far as the eye can see. Yeah, Dell membranes tend to be the more popular one. I think like at one of my former job sites, every new employee got some variation of the Dell membrane. But you could always request for a higher end one. Like I think one of my office mates wanted the top of the line Logitech. So he got one that was wireless and it had some kind of some knobs on the top as well. And at the time, this was before I entered this hobby, I was like, ooh, I want one. I'm like, can I ask one too? And then someone's like, hey, I think you need to be a senior engineer to ask for that. And, you know, this is just like my first job out of college. Witpack says, have I tried H1s? Yes, I have. H1s are too heavy for me, unfortunately. Yep, that is a working stab. Do I hear any rattle anywhere? I don't hear rattle, but I hear this crinkling. Nope, no rattle. I think we're good. We are good. What about otherwise the feel besides the weight? Well, H1s are just a JWK clone, so it's not like they're any smoother or any less smooth than your typical JWK switch. Like, what turned me off from them is that just how heavy they were. You know. I think, like, in terms of linears, the heaviest I'd go for a linear is maybe 72, and that would be like at the very top. All right. Let me just put a little bit more of dielectric grease. Have I tried, like, what's the OA again? Original affirmation? Original active? Original aspiration? Original something? What does that A stand for in like OA? Aspirations is Logan. Okay. Original aspiration. I have not tried original aspirations. Like, you know, I think I've come to a point where I definitely can't buy enough boards to keep up with buying a lot of switches. So I usually only buy switches when I have a personal board coming. And it's been quite a while since I've done any of that. Don says original actuation. Yeah, sure, probably. Probably. That could possibly work. Yeah, I've not tried original aspiration. Okay, let's clean up a bit here. We no longer need any of these stabilizers. When your Pandora arrives, you'll build it with them. Nice, you were able to snag a Pandora. Gonna clean up a little bit here. Andy, I was literally just talking about you, and then you rated me with a party of 91. Nice, dude. Thank you. Thank you, Andy, and thank you everyone who was watching. Andy, for joining in. Ween gang. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Let's see. What was I saying about you earlier? Oh, I was saying how we're talking about. Oh, I forgot. I actually forgot. You were just talking about the SCOG at the end of the stream. Nice. Yeah, here we go. This is my SCOG. This is my SCOG. I think, Andy, I think you got the black one, or as you described it to me, it was like the charcoal, dark, deep blue or something like that. I got the nicer color. I think so too, actually. I was at first a little dismayed because I looked at the color and I was like, what keyset is going to work on this? I don't have anything that seems like it would work. And then I remembered that I had GMK Olive. Let's see, Anyway, welcome guys. Welcome everyone from Andy's stream. If you have never been here before, my name is Merlin and I build keyboards. Surprise, surprise. But I do build keyboards on a hardware and on a software front. And on Sundays, I do a group by news stream. Vulcan Monkey says, is that desert? Yes, it is. This is the desert colorway with the GMK olive. Do olives grow in the desert? Probably not. Alright, let's go grab this guy. Let's go grab this case. We can pull out the plate here. You think this would look well with GMK Yuri? You really think so? Oh no, you meant Euro. Here we go. This is the customer's board right here. Alright, Marilyn, you gotta go eat dinner? Dude, we are in the same time zone, right? Oh, lunch. Okay, okay. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Did you just move? Alright, have a good lunch, man. Have a good lunch. Oh yeah, I remember now. I was talking about you before the stream because someone asked me if I had the battery working yet. And I said no, because Andy sent me a link for the battery, and when I clicked on it, it was out of stock. So yeah, I do not have a battery yet, and I completely forgot about buying one this week. Yeah, I had some deadlines at work which needed to be met, so yeah. When I get focused on something, I tend to just forget everything else. But yeah, have a good lunch, Andy. Thanks for joining in and sending your people my way. Much appreciated. June says hello. Hello to you too. Alright, here goes. Ah, there we go. All the pieces right there. Vulcan says, what do I do in terms of software for keyboard? You said both hardware and software. Yeah, so on Tuesday nights I do a porting with PortStream, in which I take a keyboard and I write QMK firmware for it, if it doesn't have it already. And if it already has QMK firmware on it, I then write software for VIA support. So I am actually, in fact, one of the collaborators at QMK. My official title with the QMK organization is Community Ambassador. There we go. Let's see. Let's take off that top right there. Cool beans. What color is this? Gray or blue? I'd say it's a grayish blue, I think. Okay. All right. Let's see. What's the best way to do this? I think the best way to do this would be to I'm actually going to remove the plate. There we go. I'm going to remove the plate from this just because there is some included foam, because it might be too difficult for me to keep the plate on the top, even though it would save time, though it might not save me time in the long run. Well, Vulcan Monkey, if you want to learn a little bit more, I do have, I've been doing the porting with PortStream for well over a year at this point, so I have quite a few of those videos. Basically every stream, what I'm doing is the same, though you could argue when you're building a board like this, what you're doing is the same. You're taking apart the board and you're soldering it together. It's just different boards each time. So it's the same thing with QMK software, you know, it's the same kind of code, it's the same kind of procedures. It's just a different board each time. You got a blue Vega to match your hammerhead, says Nbessa. Nice. TKC has been pretty bad with shipping. So I hear. So I hear, but okay. So here. So maybe, like, I think I've been in this community for a long enough time. I've seen all kinds of shipping. I've seen shipping that took a year late. I've seen shipping that never arrived. I've seen shipping that arrived the next day, you know? So it's like all in all, it's happened so often that I've sort of become, what do you call that? Indifferent to like shipping. So if it takes long, I'm just like, okay, well, you know, it will get here, and if the person really does disappear, then I'll just file a complaint. See, Nbessa got into the C3 stabs. Nice. Actually, no, wait, dude. My C3 stabs came in last week. So there's a chance yours might come in as well. Caveat says, hey Merlin, I built a D65 which uses KBD67 Mark II. The left control and left Windows key randomly swapped. How does this happen? This is a feature called boot magic. I believe to disable it, you can hold spacebar and backspace, like at the same time, while you plug in your board, and that effectively clears your EEPROM. So if you have a VIA enabled board, you will also clear your key map. So just keep that in mind. Your C3 stabs are also stuck somewhere. Oof. Yeah, I bought a lot of C3 stabs because I didn't know V2s, Durock V2s were going to be a thing. Like, I much prefer the look of V2s, I mean of Durock stabs, just because they're clear. So, I guess I have both C3 and Durocks to work through. Alright, we got a plate which the customer has pre-populated. Just because I'm not so sure about this bottom row, I'm just going to pop out this bottom row first as much as I can. Come on, pop out. And I'll test this again with actual keycaps before I solder. And Bessa says, I actually have a problem with my KBD67. One day the media controls stopped working, everything else still works, but I can no longer use media controls. What were you doing before that? Did you happen to flash your board? I ask because there have been some issues with media controls in QMK firmware land. So if you happen to have changed your key map using QMK configurator or flashed a new version of QMK, you may have picked up a version of QMK with a bug, and it happens. Sure. All right, there we go. Have only used VIA. Okay. Well, to be fair, VIA is QMK firmware with VIA enabled. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Dr. Killswitch says, love my alpacas, but picked up some Gateron Milky Yellows. Nice. Gateron Milky Yellows are probably one of my favorite stock switches. Okay. Let's see. That seems to have fallen in place just fine. Just make sure all of the legs are straight. So I'm just going to try and place the PCB over this. Here, let's take out this guy. This guy seems super sus as well. Come on, come out, come out. Okay. Basically removed all of the switches on stabilized keys, just so I can make sure they all fit correctly. There we go. There we go. Let's grab that PCB. Grab that PCB. Okay. Hopefully I don't bend any pins during this process. It's hard to see here. Okay. There. All right. Hopefully this fits. Yeah, it fits. Awesome. Okay. Looks like I'll still have to compress it a little bit to make it sit flush and everything. That's not a problem. You can do that relatively easily. See, Ruben says, I've been struggling with this VIA QMK configurator. Just watch your YT videos on it, but still can't get it quite well. I would recommend just to take it slowly. Like, a lot of people seem to think that just because it takes me, like the duration of the video, 6 minutes to flash, that they need to do it the same way. No, just take it slow. Take it slow. No need to panic and all that. There we got one bent leg there. There we go. See, Ruben says, I mean, after uploading my hex on the board, I'll be able to make changes with the VIA. Yes, as long as you have a hex file or bin file that is VIA enabled. QMK configurator will not give that to you. You need to get a VIA enabled firmware file from caniusevia.com. Yeah, like, to be honest with you guys, QMK configurator was built as a easier way to do QMK, but with VIA around, you know, like, honestly, the people who would use QMK configurator are not are not people like me who like, you know, can do this through command line. But most people who use QMK Configurator are going to be people who would love VIA. So I honestly think that the time, like, using QMK Configurator isn't going to be as applicable in the next couple months or so. Am I a software dev too? Yes, I am. There we go. Got most things in here. Yeah, I'll start soldering, and just to get things out of the way, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove my SCOG reboot. Give you guys one last view of it. SCOG reboot prototype, courtesy of Percent Studios. Actually, probably I ended up really liking this board, even though I'm not a TKL guy. Alright, let's see. Pardon me as I turn on this fan. Alright, let's get some solder here. My background is in firmware. I basically wrote drivers for a lot of things. These days I work with Chef. It's a configuration management platform similar to Ansible and Salt, if you're familiar with any of those. So these days I just write Ruby. I used to write C and assembly all day. Now I just write Ruby. Ruby and the Chef DSL, I guess. The Chef DSL is still Ruby, but it's not exactly Ruby. You're a Python guy? Well, from my cursory reading of Python, it's quite similar. If you can do Ruby, you can probably do Python, and vice versa. In fact, I've had to code review lots of Python stuff. Alright, well, it looks like the foam's pretty compressed at this point. Not bad. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm first soldering in the center column, just so I can make sure this foam is as compressed as possible. And that the switch will be as flush with the PCB as possible to make it nice and pretty, nice and secure. If I can get that right, the rest of the build will be great. Yeah, Ruben, if you watch my VIA flashing video, or how to get VIA on your board, I think it's like a 4-minute video. Watch it. It tells you exactly what you need to do to get VIA working on your board. Gives you like, I think it's like a 6-step procedure or something. Can't quite remember. You're not sure which one? If it's a DZ60, then you just have to get the DZ60. Like if you go to caniusevia.com, like there's the DZ60, and then there's the DZ60 RGB, which you don't want. Like I'm assuming you have the soldered one. Can you confirm that or not, Ruben? Do you have a soldered board, a soldered DZ60, or a hot swap DZ60? Because the firmware file for either will be different. All right. Let's see. Can I show the kitty on stream at all? Yeah, sure. I'll do it after I've soldered, just to make sure the kitty's not in any danger here. All right, I've got the center ones done. So that means the rest should be relatively easy. Let's do this. Its name is Sushi. Yes, I named my cat Sushi. Sushi the cat. Sushi the Siberian. See, someone asked earlier how I like tangerines. I actually don't like tangerines. This is a customer's build. I find tangerines are too high-pitched for me, and I'm gonna attribute that to the UHM WPE housing. In fact, I have tangerines on one of my boards back there. The only way I could tolerate it is if I replace the top with a cherry top. So yeah. Okay. I might not need to do this method the whole way through, like, I feel like everything's holding just fine and dandy here. Oh, no, just kidding. Definitely had to do this method for that one particular switch. What about Tangerine with the Gateron Milky Top? I have no clue. I've never tried that. But personally, I still find the Cherry Top still better than Gateron Milky Tops. Like, in terms of sound, at least. Alan says hello. Hello to you too. Redeemed Hydrate, thank you. Let me just finish this last switch right here. There we go. That guy went in. Whew! Alright. Thank you, thank you. Ruben says, haven't tried anything about QMK configurator to get my wanted layout. Okay, I think I've said this a few times already on stream. You need to get the firmware from Can I Use VIA. Please look at my VIA tutorial video. QMK configurator will not allow your board to work with VIA. So your board has not been built yet, but you can still flash it. So you can at least pre-flash it and make sure all the keys work. Because with VIA, you can actually do like the switch matrix mode, and figure every key out. All right. Out of curiosity, how many people on stream have ever typed on a carbon fiber plate? And what did you guys think about it? Yay or nay? Walking Monkey has a CF for the candy bar that I still need to build. Nice. Need to get one for the Vega, have not tried. Carbon fiber plate for Polaris. Board will be built with the CF plate, nice. Yeah, so the only experience that I have with carbon fiber plates, before this board at least, is all carbon fiber and some tactile switch. I've experienced with 67G Zelios and Holy Pandas, so I'm quite curious how this will feel with linears. This will be a new experience for me. Just because, like, personally, even personally, I normally pair a flexi plate with a tactile switch and a stiff plate with a linear switch. So, you know, this is outside of my norm as well. Mech and Dev has followed. Thank you. See, Asian Fist of Doom says, I'm pretty new to Twitch. What day do I do my group buy streams? I do them every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. PST. So tomorrow evening, I'm located in Seattle, Washington. So I do it after my dinner time. Like, you know, actually, most of my streams are scheduled after I've already eaten. Just because I've noticed, I think some of my very first streams, I did it without eating before, and I was like so like, after the first half hour of just talking like this, I was so out of energy. Sager Pruthi says, usually people get a stiffer plate for tactiles in order to bottom out better. So define better, because how you're defining better there from what you're insinuating seems like a very harsh bottom out experience for me. You know? You like to catch them live? Yeah, live is fun, especially with all of the banter with the audience. It's pretty fun. It's good too, you know, just because, like, even though I do all of these group buy streams, by no means am I an expert in everything happening in the community. So occasionally I have more knowledgeable people on stream being like, oh, Merlin, you're wrong. This group buy actually started yesterday, or this one's been delayed, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, cool. Did not catch that during my read through. Or like someone's like, oh yeah, they're doing this variant first, but if you join the group by the day before, there's the special edition. Stuff like that, which I would not have known. So, that's fun. I learned a lot too. already subscribed to my YouTube. Thank you so much, man. Every little bit helps. I think like the more subscribers I get, the more my channel's recommended. All that good stuff. Like the way I look at it, the more awareness of what group buys are actually happening, the faster we can hit MOQ, the hopefully in the long run we'll get cheaper prices, faster delivery times, you know, all that good stuff. You know, of course, it doesn't change the fact that I still don't have any money to join every group buy, but you know. Maybe when I've got like 300,000 subscribers, I can actually join every group buy. my chat seems active, yeah. I think one of my YouTube videos, one of my group buy videos, someone on the YouTube comment said, "Oh, your chat sounds very elitist," and I'm like, oof. I'm like, well, when I'm talking about GMK sets and like $500 keyboard kits, you know, what kind of people would be looking for those kits? People who are used to buying them, right? The Sagar Pruthi says, which plate would I recommend with JWK linears? So as I said earlier, I prefer stiffer plates, right? So both plates that you recommend, that you asked about, PC or Palm, are both fairly flexy to me. So I would not choose either, to be honest. But you know, I have one PC board, one PC plated board, and one Palm plated board, both linear. I prefer the sound of PC over Palm. So there's that. But in terms of feel, I'm still not completely sold. You're already getting Alu and FR4. Ah, okay. FR4 has something that's interested me, because I've never had an FR4 plated board. So do write back how you like it. Yeah, it's like, I know FR4 is flexy, but not as flexy as Palm or PC. So I might actually like it. But I don't know, because I've never had one. Like, the closest that I've had to an FR4 plated boards are my sandwich kits, like the Southpaw and my Budget 96, and they feel good, but I'm not sure they're a good standard to measure how effective those plates really are. You hear good things about FR4. That's what I hear too. I just have never had the opportunity to build one. So yeah, if anyone has a build that they want to do and they have an FR4 plate in it, hit me up so I can satisfy my curiosity. What about polypropylene plates? I don't even know what polypropylene is. I'm assuming it's some type of plastic, but no, I've never built a board with one either. Alright, we have most switches in, so let me just give my soldering iron a break here while I populate everything else and fix some of my bent legs here. Let's see, you want to start building keyboards but don't know where to get budget options, like honestly, I think the most budget right now would probably be keyboard sandwich kits, like the Big Dill Extended from Mech Wild and the upcoming Mercutio, along with some of like the Cozy Fanatuti keyboards, CFTKB, like the Romeo, the Discipline, I forgot what the rest of his boards are called. And if you want to go one step up from that, then yeah, there's KBD fans. The Prophet 60 had a polypropylene plate. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know what polypropylene is, nor do I have the experience with building one. Winston says, "Hello, how's it going?" It's going pretty well. I'm on my merry way of finishing up a customer's board. Mega says NK65. Isn't NK65 necessarily a build? Like, I think he says he wants to build his own keyboard, and NK65 you don't necessarily build, you just put keycaps on it. Here, let's go ask the chat. Is merely putting keycaps on a board considered building? What do you guys think? Or is it more like doing what I'm doing right now? Is this building? Mercury says, if it does, then I'm a master builder. NK65 hard to get a hold of? Well, the Olivia version currently is what, on Group Buy, right? Assembling is not building. Okay. Let's see. New build says MJ Game 6. Jack First says, or is it? Is assembling building? Well then, okay, might not be completely applicable. So do you build your IKEA furniture or do you assemble your IKEA furniture? Yeah, it's like I'm just curious just to hear what the audience thinks of when you say building a keyboard, what comes to mind? The Bad Star says, have I ever done a Milmax build on stream? Yes I did. I built my Iron 165 with it. Assemble. Now we're asking the real questions. Honestly, for me, building equals soldering, says Mercury. Build code was assemble code. I didn't make a sandwich, I assembled it. Well, you know, if you go to like Subway, I think you call them sandwich artisans, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's what you call your sandwich people at Subways. Everyone else assembles. It's funny because it is like a overloaded or like a misleading term, because if you go to KBD fans and you want them to put your board together, both the hot swap and the solder service are both called build services. I'm a keyboard artisan. I'm a keyboard artisan. Alright, we got more switches in. Let's turn the soldering iron back on. Almost all Kobe is Wagyu, but not all Wagyu is Kobe. Yeah, I can see that. Do you serve cereal or cook it? Wow. Okay, I bet you that somewhere out there is a cereal connoisseur community who like if you go on their subreddit or something, they're like, oh, you're eating Fruit Loops, such a noob. I bet you there's like a there's like a cereal connoisseur community. Custom cereal, artisan Fruit Loops, cereal enthusiast. A cereal enthusiast. They lube the spoon. Oh no. Extra 205G0 on that spoon. Well, okay, so I did hear that Krytox is used for some machinery that operates on making food. So, no, it's conceivable. It's definitely conceivable, but probably not advisable. Aesthetic Live subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed at 4 months. Dude, thank you. Thank you for all your support. Isn't saliva technically food lube? Yeah, I guess. It helps you chew your food better, I guess, right? That's what they say. What temp do I run my solder at? My solder is currently running at 540 degrees Fahrenheit. Whew. That guy's not coming out. Imagine trying to swallow food with no saliva. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible at all. These are Lucky Charms that have been marshmallow swapped. The bowl is carbon fiber. Lucky Charms, nice. How about cereal that's shaped like keycaps or like shaped like switches? Would people buy that if there was like keycap shaped cereal and you could choose between like cherry, XDA, SA, all that stuff? Alright, let's turn this back off again and I will figure out what the bottom row is with my trusty keycaps. I'm on it. I see post to follow. Cherry cereal, you say? Cherry cereal. Let's see, I need some 1.5 or 1.25 U's. Where are you? 1.25 U's. There we go, there's one. There's another one. That sounds like a brilliant idea. And there's another one. There we go. Let's figure this all out. Let's see, that guy will be right there. Novel Cookie Crisp. Oh my gosh. It's the Novelkey bake sale. Right. You can make several different fruit flavors matching the color of the switch stem. My gosh. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Come on. Nope, that's not the right one. You notice I have a guitar back there. Do I play guitar? Yes, I do. Play guitar. But it would be like so cool though that like if I didn't play guitar but I just kept like expensive instruments in the back as part of my backdrop. That would be really cool. Like total flex move. McMerlin equals GNR Slash. I am nowhere near as good as Slash. I'll just be honest with that and say I'm nowhere near as good as that. Guitar on head or it's a green screen. Yes, this is just a green screen. I don't actually have any of what you see back there. I have deluded you all. You've seen people do that in their homes, that's why I asked. Nice. Yeah, it's just, I feel like it's like, okay, that one is a, I think it was part of the Road Worn Fender Stratocaster special, in which they vintage dice your guitar by like scraping off some of the paint, making it look really faded and all that, and using like old style pickups on it, and then they're like, oh yeah, because we made it vintage, extra 400. Redeem where I play a song on guitar, dude. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. We'll relic your cherry blacks for you for an extra fee. Well, isn't that technically what vintage blacks are? People selling them? They're like, oh yeah, these are used cherry MX blacks. I'm gonna charge double. Are they smoother than my Gateron yellows? Maybe. But they're used, so here, charge you double. These are old, baby. Don Tonberry says, yeah. Redeemed, ask me anything. Says Aesthetic Live, what is my greatest fear? Existential or otherwise, and what steps have I taken to alleviate those fears? What? My greatest fear. Let's see. It's kind of hard to answer. My greatest fear. Let's see. I think maybe to... I'm not sure if it's my greatest fear, but one of my fears is to repeat like the same mistakes that my parents did. You know? Like, it's not like my parents were like perfect parents, and I know that they tried their best, but there were some things, you know, that I never like really understood or have come back and bit them later on in life. So stuff like that, you know. Just try not to repeat the same mistakes that my parents did. So in terms of what I've done to alleviate those fears, just making like different decisions, I guess, both like financially, people who I hang out with, like the education that I have, stuff that I'm doing with my life, you know? Yeah. That's like a deep question, but yeah, I think that's definitely one of my fears, just because, you know, like, you know, if you lived with your parents for a significant amount of time, let's say even if it's just 18 years, your parent, like your parents tend to have their personality, have their likes, have their dislikes rub off on you, you know? So, you know, sometimes that way of thinking, like sometimes that way of thinking can be like a prison for you. Like, I think on a less extreme example, like I've seen some people who've got this like poverty mindset, you know? By poverty mindset, it's like, oh, you know, let's just buy like the cheapest toothpaste. We don't want to buy the most expensive one, blah blah blah. Oh, that soap dispenser, once it gets to like a tenth left, you know, let's not buy a new one because that's so like expensive. Let's just put some water in it and then make it last longer, stuff like that. Or like, oh, I have like a 15-year-old car. It's still working. Sure, I need to repair it every month, but it's still working, so I'll just keep it till it dies. Stuff like that, you know? It's like that kind of mindset can like prevent you from enjoying life. Mega Man says walking over dollars to pick up pennies. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of like putting it. Oh shoots, I should probably keep that spacebar on so I can put these two keys on. It's like, you know, I know that I had that kind of mentality as well. Like, I find it very prevalent in like Asian culture, you know. Asian culture, save money here, blah, 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 blah. And saving money is not bad, you know. It's definitely not a bad thing to do. But if you save so much just because, you know, just cause, you tend to not enjoy life. Like, I think personally it was only like, I think after marrying my wife, because she's American and she grew up here. I grew up in like Asia, just like the clash of our cultures and the clash of our, I guess, different expectations in life, I think made me start realizing that, like, hey, you know, even if I do buy that more expensive toothpaste, if I use an electronic toothbrush, even though it's $70 versus the like the $10 manual toothbrush, I'm not gonna be poor, you know? Aesthetic Life gifted tier 1 sub to Mega Man. Dude, thank you so much. But yeah, wow, that's probably the deepest question I have ever been asked on this stream that's not even keyboard related. But yeah, thanks. That was refreshing, I guess. I guess sometimes when you talk about keyboards too much, sometimes you lose track of stuff that actually matters. Alright, I think I can finish soldering the rest of these switches. Let's do this really quick. There goes my keycap puller. All right. Alright, okay. So for those of you new to my stream, the way I like to solder is one leg at a time, and then I reflow that leg that I soldered while I push the switch in, aligning it, so that I can make sure that the switch is completely flush with the PCB. And in this case, it compresses the foam completely, so there's no gaps at all. And I've soldered I've soldered half of every switch now, except one of them, which I just saw. And next thing I need to do is solder the other leg. Let's see, Asian Fist of Doom says, can I get some recommendations on a cheap key to practice soldering? I've seen a few, but they're never in stock. What is your requirement for cheap? What is your price range that you're looking at? Aesthetic Live says, I can't recall, Merlin. Did you ever grab a Think? Yes, I did. I joined the group buy at like the very last moment, just because I was swayed by both Apiary and Alex Soto's. After watching their streams, I was like, you know what? I gotta get this. And I did. No regrets. Yet. Because I won't know if I made the right decision until I get the board. But I think I got the blue one because I was gonna put Nautilus on it. Did I get the CU7? No, I did not. Like, I like macro pads and stuff because they're cool, but at the end of the day, I don't really use them. Let's see, Asian Fist of Doom says 100 USD. 100 USD for a board to put together. I think at 100 USD, you may want to... You'll probably stick with 60%, I guess. So that would probably be a DZ60 from KBD fans. And probably a cheap plastic tray mount case of sorts. Along with maybe, I guess, Gateron yellows if you want linear. Kale copper if you want tactile. And then that should give you... Ah man, leftover money should probably give you some okay keycaps, I guess. And then there's also taxes and shipping, so 100 is kind of hard, to be honest. Like at that price point, I would almost recommend just buying an OEM board. Like, or an NK65. And just hot swap it like that. See, Aesthetic says DZ60 is around 40 and compatible with many cases. Cool. It's hard. honestly, I think if you want to build a board, you need to at least have like 150, 160 set aside. Anything less than that, I feel like you start to sacrifice quality. And if it's your first time building, that quality might make a difference in the build. Like here, just to give you guys a quick talk. Okay, so if you look at this PCB right now, you'll see that the solder pads are gold, right? Those are actually, it's like, that's actually a higher grade of PCB than a PCB with silver pads, because supposedly the gold is easier to solder to, you know? If you buy a cheaper PCB, there's a possibility it's just going to be silver. Like, I think if you bought any of the clone GH60s from like AliExpress and stuff, the pads are all silver. Like, of course, if you're a good solderer, it's not going to make a difference. But if it's your first time solder, something as small as that, gold pad versus silver pad, might make a huge difference. See, Jendalive TV says, what about Practice 60 or Practice 65? Those are fairly good too. Winston says, jump right into a key cult. First solder project. Well, you know, some key cults are hot swap. Don't have to solder. You know? Aren't they tin plated instead of gold plated? One of them is tin plated, and I think the gold one is specifically called Enig, if I'm not mistaken. Though it's really hard to tell, like, if it's actually Enig or gold plated. Because truth be told, I have found some PCBs that are gold plated that were harder to solder for some reason. See, Mega Man says, what solder iron am I using? I am using a 10-year-old Weller WS51 that I've had for a very long time. I'm actually secretly hoping that it will break down on me so I can buy a Hacko, but so far so good. Why am I planning on doing that? Because I find Hacko tips to be a lot easier to source than Weller tips. Let's give the Skog a break and use my Romeo. There we go. Let's see, Via. Alright, we got Via opened up. Let's see. Okay, let's plug in the board. Right now, Via's detecting my Romeo. Let's plug in the board. Woo. There we go. Okay. Everything lights up just fine. Yep, Via detects it just fine as well. Perfect. Key tester. Like someone was reminding me the other stream that it's better just to use test matrix, because I always just use like the key code test, but test matrix is usually a lot more efficient. So let's try and break that habit of mine. So far, so good. Yay! Everything registers. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's go clean up the PCB a bit here. I do see that with lighter colored PCBs, my excess flux is more noticeable. So let's clean that all up. Let's clean that all up. This is just isopropyl alcohol. I like to use 99%. Yeah, I noticed that it's most of the excess flux is on that one leg that I had to reflow. So yeah, that's pretty consistent with all my other build jobs. Let's try and clean up as much of that as possible. There's some nice brushing ASMR. Can you guys actually hear that brushing? You're getting tingles. You can hear it with your soul. Mercury says, gotta go, been fun, looking forward to seeing the final build. Yeah, well, if you tune in and watch the video, either here on Twitch again as a VOD, or wait till the edited YouTube video in Tuesday, I believe. No, on like Monday, you should get a nice typing test. See how it sounds. Like, I'm personally curious to see how Tangerine sound on a carbon fiber plate. So for those of you who don't know, Mercury over here, the one saying goodbye, is the customer for today's build. If you guys are looking for the most magical of build services, definitely hit me up. Do I cast a spell of cockiness when you finish building? Yes, I do. It's part of the Mech Merlin build service. It looks fairly clean. Awesome. Dragon Senpai followed me, thank you. All right. All clean. All clean. Now let's just pick up all that stickiness with some Q-tips here. Actually, that's not really picking anything up. That means I probably got a lot of that flux off then. Yay! I like it when I do a good job with the cleaning. Yeah, it's really good. Is that alcohol? Yes, it is. Did I apply enough toothpaste? Yes, I did. Because you know, toothpaste and electronics works completely safely together. Yeah, Dragon Senpai, this is just isopropyl alcohol. The particular variant I'm using is 99%, but anything 70 and above should be fine. I'm just extra cautious, so I use 99%. There we go. Yeah, I think we're good. We are good. So we can assemble the board now. Let's clean up a little bit here. clean up a little bit. Just move my drink to the side. Okay. Let's grab the plate. That's the top half of the board, which will now... How we going? Cybervoyager looking hype? Yeah, for sure. Just finished clipping the legs off your creams. Excited to use them. Congratulations. I'm assuming you're putting it in some hot swap board. If you have to clip off those legs. Oh great, these are not magnetic. Shoots. Yeah, the drop alt. Ah, okay. Yeah, did you guys know that so drop has the high profile alt, and they've started selling it under like a different name. I think they're calling it like the Captain series or something, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, Twitch Snake says, are there horizontal streaks after cleaning the PCB? Sometimes, you know. Like, it's basically just the residual flux, but then they will start to evaporate over time, especially if it's like once you use a lot of the alcohol. Let's see, Mega Man says, I think they're bundling it with keycaps and charge. Yeah, it's called like the Captain series or something. Yeah, I think someone on one of the Discord servers I was frequenting was like, oh, can we try... Oh, here we go. Looks like my music died. Someone was asking me, oh, Merlin, what do you think about the new Captain series of boards from Drop? And I'm like, Captain series? Never heard of such a board. It's just a pre-built special version. There we go. Okay, to get the bottom half now. Okay, let's do that. And then I think, let's forget. There we go. Got that acrylic piece in. And you know what? For the other customer that had this board, I actually ended up putting foam in. So I'll do the same for this customer. Let's get some foam. Let's get some foam. Actually, hold on. He already has a super thin layer of foam here, which I think is relatively useless. So we are gonna add an additional layer, especially for, I believe this is where a battery compartment is supposed to go. You bought the bare bones alt, okay. Actually, I don't necessarily know if that's gonna help much. We just want to put enough foam in the battery compartment to fill it up. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do too much. And I feel like I can't cut this to the proper length. There we go. Twitch Snake redeemed hydrate, thank you very much. Let's finish this last cut. I'll have a little sip of my tea here. You know, I've actually wanted a high profile drop alt for quite some time. Just cause, you know. All right, there we go. There we go. See, cherry stabs, band-aid mob, foam, holy pandas. I'm gonna say don't do band-aid mod. It's fairly useless if you do a lube and clipping job already. There we go. All right. So back to the annoyances of this build. I feel like it doesn't quite clip on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Because this is not the first time that I've built a board like this. Cybervoyager, I was actually prepared with some of the nuances. I think if you watch my first build of this board, like the Cybervoyager with the Holy Pandas, I think I spent like 15 to 20 minutes just trying to put the case together. But now I'm like, okay, just took 5 minutes because I knew what to look for all of the alignments. So we're good. We are good. There we go. Okay, I need to put some feet on. I think the feet were here. Let's do it. Unfortunately, some of the feet will cover the screws, so I'm just gonna leave that to the customer. The customer can cover the screws themselves, but I will at the very least put the feet on the parts that don't cover screws, like that. There we go. And let's see, what should I do next? Trying to think where I got this set. Okay, so what I have here is not a complete GMK carbon set. I think this is specifically for a... I think this is specifically for a clue board, so I'm gonna be missing 2 keys right there and the shift key. So hold on, let's see if I have any... Do I have any like random keycaps here? Let's try. Yeah, let's just try it with the GMK because I don't really have any spare GMK sets or cherry profile caps at the moment. So yeah, let's do it with these for now. I can use some Merlin novelties, I guess. It's a good looking board, yes it is. There's my page up key. There's my escape key. See, I've got like, see, I've got the clue board shift, so that key won't work. Sounds good to you? Yeah, I think this There's some carbon fiber plate, and the plate foam is helping the Tangerine sound better. QWE, there we go. That's the E. Neck basket just followed, thank you. Still waiting on tangerines to get in the mail, still deciding what in the world you're gonna do with them. Look, this is a very strange GMK key set that I got. It's got two arrow key things here. CXCVB, there we go. V, ASD, Alt, huh, okay. An Alt key right there. JKL. Curious what I think about the Hive 60 now. You have one on order. I still like it. Though I think I would have liked it more if I got like a brass plate or a stainless steel plate. Like I think I was explaining earlier that I'm not a fan of flexi plate and linear. I much prefer a stiffer plate when it comes to like linear switches. Alright, so I'm missing two keys there that I'm gonna see if I can borrow from another key set really quick. Yeah, this is a GMK carbon that was specifically kitted for a clue board. But here, let me grab two random keys from another keyboard that I have. Let's do this. Let's just borrow it from this guy. Black is fairly inconspicuous. Not so noticeable, right? Not so noticeable. Here. Look, see, if I hold it like this, you guys can't tell. Check out the board. Check out the board. Cool. Okay, let's go do an actual typing test here. Let's do this. Let us do this. Let us do a typing test. I don't think I like that pattern. See, it's just blinking like that. So let me just adjust that in VIA really quick. I want... Come on, searching for devices. Come on, VIA. Takes a few tries sometimes before VIA detects the board. There we go. VIA has detected the board. Let's go with lighting. For lighting. Oh wow, that's really cool. Or that's really strange. As you can see on the screen right now, VIA saying that it's green, but it's showing up as a turquoise color. I wonder if that's because of how it's diffused. But here, let's try... There we go. That's actually green now. Let's see. It's a blue board. I think blue boards look good with just a white color. Let's see if I can get white there. There we go. There we go. That looks good. What set is this? This is an odd set that I got from Clueboard. It was specifically for the Clueboard prototype, so it's just a hodgepodge of, I think, what he had at the time. He had a Clueboard specific GMK carbon, so I've had to substitute 2 keys here. Alright, here we go. Let's do a typing test. Typing test. Here we go. Let's do a carbon colorway. There we go. Let's do a carbon colorway like that. That looks good. Dare I ask, am I on a Mac? Yes, I am on a Mac. Let's see. Let's pause my music really quick. Here we go. You've always assumed that those in the hobby are exclusively on PC. It's because I also develop for like QMK, and I'm also a developer for the Mac platform. So I just tend to use Mac. Here we go, here we go. Let's see. Let me move the mic a little bit closer. Aim it downwards. Aim it downwards a bit. There we go. I'm already off. Let's try that again. .135, accuracy of 90. Pretty sure I can do better. I think what's tripping me up here is that red is wrong and orange is where I'm at. So whenever I see orange, I kind of think that's red. And I'm attributing that maybe to my slight color blindness. Here, let's see if I can do a little better here. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Here goes. Okay, that's like roughly the same. Let's see. Well, one more try here, and I think it's the colorway that's messing me up. Let's pick something more standard. Let's something more. There we go. That should be good. Here goes. Yeah, I guess it's my accuracy is 90, WPM's about 130. Let's see. Yeah, I do think it sounds good. It still is slightly more high pitched than I want a board to be. Yeah. Overall, I do like it. I do like the board. Here, one more typing test. Out of curiosity, how many people on stream actually have a Space 65? Either from this round or the previous one. Yes, 100%. I did it. 100%, 162 words per minute. Yes. All right, I'm just gonna screenshot that because this barely happens. Screenshot. There we go. Fastest fingers on the West Coast? Maybe. I'm pretty sure I've seen some people going at like 180 or so. Let's see, cat time. Yeah, cat time. Let's go clean up a little bit here. Let's put stuff away so she doesn't get too excited. What is the name of that program? Says Mr. Condi. It's actually, I guess it's a web app of sorts. It's typings.gg. It's an open source project by a community member. I can type at 50 words per minute only, says NBES. That's nothing to worry about, to be honest. Like, even though I can type at 162, as you guys can see here, I think my actual usable words per minute is only around 80. So honestly, which one? I really wouldn't worry about your typing speed. Let's see. Oh, one more thing here. Idol in Disguise says, which Think 6.5 did I order? 2U or 1U? What's the difference again? I can't quite remember. 1U blocker is in the corner, 2U blocker is in the middle. I'm having trouble visualizing that, but I think I might have gotten the 1U blocker. Don't quote me on that, I could be completely wrong. Let's see, yeah. Right now I'm just cleaning up a bit so we can get the cat out. Get the cat out. this box closed. Let's put the extra keyboards away. Kitty eating well? Kitty is eating well. Alright, let's see. Put that away, put that away. Alright, okay. Let's see. Let me grab the kitty. BRB. Alright guys. Oh! Let's change the scene really quick. Here we go. Here she is. Ah! Don't go away. Don't run. Don't run. Hi. This is Sushi. Ah! It's so sharp. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hi there. Oh no. Don't scratch me. Ah. Here. Say hello. Say hello. Yes. Say meow. Okay. Ah! Her claws are so sharp. Oh my gosh. You want her back? Here. Here. Have her back.
What you doing?
Alright. Yeah. There we go. Hi. Hi. Oh, her. You gotta get more in frame. There we go. Hi. Yeah, this is Sushi, guys. We've had her for roughly a week at this point. Aww.
You never come in here, do you? What's this place? Used to be very messy.
Alright. Okay. I think she wants to sleep a little bit more since we did just like wake her up. What type of cat is she? She is a Siberian forest cat. Is she warming up to her new surroundings? Yeah, pretty much. Hold on. Yeah, I guess she's just never been in this room too much because this is the room that I work at. So sometimes she just stares at me while I'm in here. I think it might be because we have plants in here as well. I've got some plants. But yeah, this is day 6 of cat ownership. We've successfully transitioned her to like eating raw food, and she's starting to get used to our living room. She started to sleep with us as well, but she gets really naughty at night, so sometimes we need to like put her out. Let's see. Yeah, she's very sweet. How old is Sushi again? Sushi was born in late August. Grow some catnips in my work area. Yeah, we'll see. My sister-in-law works at a pet store, so she's been sending us a bunch of little catnip toys and like all that. See, Keith Tran has subscribed. Thank you very much. But yeah, as you guys can see from my hands, I have quite a number of scratches at this point. This one's probably the most severe one. Yeah, I've got some all over my legs, here and there, all that stuff. Just the joys of cat ownership. Am I going to sterilize her? Probably. I think if it's a female, you spay her, and if it's a male, you neuter her. I think that's the correct vocabulary. And the reason why you want to do it, from what I've read, is because once they get to that age, they tend to pee a lot more and pee everywhere. From my small amount of research, that's what I've seen. As much as she is learning about her new surroundings, we are learning about her and her likes and dislikes around here. Like, I've learned that she seems to like rabbit more than chicken, which sucks for us because we just bought a bunch of chicken. But we'll see, we'll see. What kind of vaccines do cats get usually? Like the breeder sent me this entire pamphlet of a list of all the vaccines, so yeah, some of them I can't even pronounce. But I know that we need to get her like a rabies vaccine as well. But since she's not an outdoor cat, so it doesn't really matter, and she was never let outdoor until she was delivered to us. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, hopefully you'll see more of her as she gets more comfortable in this area. Like she was a little bit scratchy today, as you guys can see. Yeah. Like my wife is yelping. She's probably like being crawled on. All right, folks. Well, this is a quick summary. I built another customer board today. This is the Cybervoyager round 2 with blue, grayish blue anodization with the white accents and the black weight. Or I guess that's an accent as well. It's not quite a weight. And it had carbon fiber plate with filmed and lubed tangerines. Normally I'm not a big fan of tangerines, and I'm still not. But these are probably some of the nicer sounding tangerines that I've ever built with. So yeah, I'll probably be typing on this for a few more hours, a few more times this week, and hopefully everything's good. But if you guys want to tune in to the typing test, which will be released on Monday along with the stream, you can hear more of it then. Alright folks, thanks a lot for joining in. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a good start of your weekend actually for some of you. And I will catch you in tomorrow evening's Scoop by News. Once again, that's 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alright guys, catch you later.